Well, the next Atlantic weather system is making its way into the northern half of the UK as rain spread from west to east over the course of this evening. I'm Mark Vogan here. Thanks for clicking on to today's edition of Vogan's Views on Europe. We've got a trough that's basically oriented northwest to southeast, and that's pushing much cooler than normal air across UK, Ireland, through central and southeastern parts of Europe. Now, we're actually seeing snow levels down to 750 metres in parts of Slovenia, upwards of 1,000 metres across parts of Croatia, but we're seeing very unusual snowfall across this part of the Balkan region of Europe today, the past few days. If you check out my blog, you'll see some of the snow pictures that I've included there. I've got a Facebook friend in Slovenia. He's been keeping me informed about the snows there, but some very unusual cold that's drifting down Sarajevo and Bosnia-Herzegovina, for example. The snow that we've seen a few days back, only 3 times since 1950 we've seen Sarajevo with snow, and never before have we seen snow so late in the season. So that's how unusual this pattern is at the moment. You can see here the rain's pushing across the UK, the northern half of the UK, in association with the next area of low pressure, and all the rains associated with this trough all the way down in towards the Mediterranean coast and the Adriatic coast of parts of Slovenia, Croatia as well. Temperatures very suppressed, 8 or 9 Celsius, would you believe, whereas what you would typically see is around 27 plus. So that's how chilly it is across this part of Europe. But over the next 24 hours, if I skip through here, you can see what's taking place. Focus of heavy rains along a boundary here which separates much cooler air over Central Europe with much warmer, humid air that's basically getting projected northwards up through western Russia as this trough drops that chilly air down into the central and the heart of Europe. Now, also, we'll see the continuation of rains across the northern half of the UK. So during the next, 24 hours, folks, do not expect much in the way of brightness. We're going to see persistent cloud, persistent rain during the day on Thursday across Scotland into the north of England, and much somewhat drier conditions across the south of England. So you folks across anywhere from Birmingham southwards, anything you see should be in the way of the odd isolated shower as opposed to anything persistent or significant in the way of rain. So that's good news for you. But across the northern half of the UK, a much different story. 8 or 9 Celsius at the very best tomorrow, and 11 to 13 Celsius across the south. But as I skip through 24 hours towards 48 hours, and you can see here the pulse of very intense rain here across parts of Greece in towards Turkey as well. And the reason being is, I'll show you here, see also rain pushing into parts of towards southeastern France into southern Germany towards the Alpine region. Upper level chart of the ACMWF, you can see it quite clearly. The trough over central parts of Europe, covering the majority of Europe, in fact, ridging over southwestern Europe into Iberia, continuation of the 100s across far southern Spain, 100s across Morocco and Algeria as well. But notice the trough here, that's drilling that chilly air, upper level low here, instigating that stormy conditions, cold conditions, rain down at the very low levels, snow above 700 metres, and you can see here around the base of the trough, as the trough drops that cold air in, look at how the cold air is flowing out of the northwest across the UK. At the same time, at the base of the trough, this is forcing all the warmth over the Sahara, over the Middle East, northwards and up into parts of western Russia. So that's why we're seeing 12, 13 Celsius at best across Germany, into Poland, while at the same time we're seeing up across parts of western Russia. Moscow, for example, you folks are pushing the mid-20s. So really quite remarkable turnaround, or not turnaround, but more a remarkable contrast between areas that are to your southwest as opposed to where you are, where you're seeing those very balmy conditions. So it's well, 10 to 20 below normal across parts of the Balkans, while we're seeing, over 10 above normal across parts of Russia. So it really is quite a dramatic flip. Southwestern ridge, trough in the middle, ridge over the northwestern or northeastern parts of Europe. The cooler air continuing across parts of the UK. But over the course of the next few days, folks, we're going to be starting to see changes taking place here as the trough starts to eradicate the heat from Spain. By the weekend, we're going to see much cooler, more unsettled conditions pushing in. Gone is those 100s across parts of southern Spain. That's going to push in towards the eastern part of, or the central portions of the Mediterranean. That's going to project northwards as that trough sinks southwards. Notice how the heights start to rise across parts of France, into Germany and Poland. The heat continues across eastern parts of Europe, while our upper level low starts to push away from the Balkans. So the colder air is going to start to warm up across Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia. You folks are going to start to lose that cold and warm up to, somewhat closer to what you would typically see at this time of year. By Monday, you can see the heat starting to build. Look at the dark red showing up, the blood red showing up across central portions of Africa, Libya, and towards Egypt. You're going to start to really heat up over the course of the next 5 days. We're going to be talking well over 110 across parts of the Sahara Desert of Libya, and it's going to be roasting there. The trough digging down, and that is going to project this heat from Africa northwards. So Italy into the Balkan region, you folks are going to really rise into the low 30s after temperatures struggling to hit 10 Celsius over the coming days. And of course, we can see the ridge of high pressure really continuing to keep the heat over eastern parts of Europe. The upper level low, that's pushing towards eastern parts of Turkey. So showers, thunderstorms, mountain snows is going to continue here, while at the same time we're going to see welcome relief across this part of the country. Now, as I skip through the Wednesday of next week, you can see a few things taking place. Very large, very strong upper level low dominating the North Atlantic. We've got also a cold upper level system sitting just north of Scotland, so that portrays much more unsettled conditions once again for the UK. The trough pushing a fresh push of cold air into parts of France and Germany, and even lower in heights across the Balkan region. Could we see more rain, even more mountain snow across this region? It's very possible. The heat really blossoms over parts of Eastern Europe. Moscow, wouldn't be surprised if this pans out that you see low 30s. I repeat that, low 30s by next Wednesday, as this trough reinforces the chill across central parts of Europe, while the heat blossoms over the eastern part of Europe. By Wednesday and into Thursday, what's taking place here, we see a continuation of the unsettled weather. Region trying to rebuild across southwestern parts of Europe. So Spain, after that chill, after the unsettled period, you folks look as if you're going to start to warm up. And that ridge, by the end of the week, looks as if it's trying to work its way towards the UK and Ireland. Upper level trough and upper level low dominating southeastern parts of Europe, so continuing unsettled cooler conditions while the heat really remains in place across eastern parts of Europe. Look at this persistent cold pocket of air to the north of Scotland. That's going to instigate more unsettled weather. Friday and into Saturday of next weekend, the region is trying to work its way into the UK. This is a long way out, so it's going to change and chop and change quite frequently. So keep checking back, and I'll try and keep you up to date as much as possible. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.